Greetings, everyone. I'm here with Andrew, co-founder of Essex Network, and we're here with for our December monthly community update call for the Essex Network blockchain. Welcome, Andrew.
Hey, thanks, Mohammed. Yeah, happy to be here. Posting in the Discord right now, actually. Uh, Perfect. Um, yeah, thanks. Another huge month. Excited to. Hey, actually, Mohammed, I'm getting a lot of static on yours. I don't know if everyone's getting that, but yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, excited to sort of give another monthly update. Let everyone know what's going on in the world of SX. Ton of good stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think Mohammed, do you want to just go to the next slide? Sorry, we're still testing out this. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, I think first, just before I get into kind of the update on what's going on in the world of SX, I just want to quickly reiterate what we are building. There's sort of three levels to three technology stacks, I guess you can call it, that we're building in the SX ecosystem. There is the top layer that obviously I think most people are sort of familiar with, which is the sort of consumer web app that is SportX, hosting over 500 prediction markets per day. I just realized there's a typo in this. Should be about, we actually just crossed $90 million in bets, which is pretty cool. And yeah, just continually growing constantly on the SportX side. That is a front end app that is built on top of the SX protocol, which is the open source smart contract protocol that is currently live on Polygon. We have a ton of exciting things around there. We actually have our first other front end besides SportX, which is now live. This kind of serves as the back end for SportX, but can also serve as the back end for other applications that want to tap into this liquidity. And so we sort of told people about how this backend protocol can be used for other things, and I'm excited to sort of talk about the Exodus wallet app, which is kind of that first other front end besides SportX that's building on top of this technology. And then finally, what I'm super excited about, the SX blockchain, have some updates there, a lot of good progress. Don't want to give a direct sort of timeline, but I can definitely say we're getting very close. So yeah, so it's launching in December. That's a mistake. Getting really excited about the launch of SX blockchain, and the Polygon team, and as well as us, have made a ton of progress there. Next slide. Yeah, so real quick, November was SportX's best month ever. Over $15 million in total betting volume. I mean, that's a good looking chart, obviously, continuing to grow. And we're on track to hit our goal of sort of $100 million in all-time volume by the end of 2021. We just hit actually 90 million, I think earlier today, or maybe it was last night. So I feel confident we can hit that by the end of this month and just keep that month over month growth going. Next slide. So the Essex Community Fund, it's a similar chart, just continues to grow. It now has, I think, actually crypto just kind of crashed in the last little 45 minutes, but as of this morning was sort of in the $1.64 million range. This is awesome. It's like a pretty big war chest for us to use to grow the platform. Obviously, it's revenue from SportX. Actually, anything that's built on SX protocol it gets revenue from. And so kind of currently it's growing about $70,000 to $80,000 per week. I think, and then obviously it's got sort of 74.4 million SX in it right now, which is sort of hovers around 50 million bucks. And getting another 400 million over the next kind of 3.5 years. Huge war chest for us to use to grow both SportX, SX protocol, and the SX blockchain. You're going to see a ton of governance proposals come over the next kind of couple of weeks. sort of using those assets actively to grow the platform. Because at this point, there's a huge opportunity for us to kind of cement our place as the #1 blockchain-based sports betting protocol, and the space is definitely going to start to heat up in terms of competitors, and so it's really important for us to kind of solidify ourselves as #1 by investing in growth and community growth, and kind of just increasing the size of the ecosystem before anyone else has a chance to catch up. Next slide, please. So just real quick, 3 events to sort of highlight from everyone over the last month. First is the Polygon joint liquidity mining program that was launched, I think November 12th, if I remember. So they put in 500K of Matic, which is actually higher now because I think the Matic price has gone up, and which is awesome, sort of supporting us. They've been incredible partner to work with, and it's definitely been sort of we think it's going to help increase SportX volumes over the next couple of months. I believe we're about 2 or 3 weeks into the program. We have a ton of sort of marketing and advertising campaigns that are coming out in conjunction with this. I think they just started coming out actually about a week and a bit ago. So I think this is going to sort of, you'll see a big pickup in activity thanks to this sort of campaign and thanks to this grant from Polygon. There's obviously the Exodus integration, super pumped about that. Exodus has over 1 million monthly active users. I believe it's the largest, or if not second largest, crypto wallet in the world. And they've actually built in SportX into their app. So, oops, sorry, one sec. Getting something from, sorry, one sec. Oh, sorry guys, I'm a little bit of technical issues. So yeah, super excited about the Exodus integration. It's going to be, go check it out. Just look up Exodus SportX. They have a big sort of promo campaign coming out. It was kind of a soft launch, which is what came out a couple of weeks ago. They're going to continually add to the product, make it more visible on their wallet app, and sort of just bring SportX to a huge new community. And then finally, just wanted to reiterate sort of SportX hitting all-time high in volume, and also monthly active users. We actually hit, I believe, an all-time high in weekly active users last week, but volume wasn't at an all-time high. I think volume can sometimes be a little bit lumpy, so the kind of underlying fundamentals in terms of number of new bettors coming is awesome to see. Next slide, please. Oh yeah, so just real quick, we talked about this in the last Essex Weekly. Just wanted to quickly, if anyone hadn't seen it, just quickly sort of go over some of the products in, like Essex Network is not just a chain. There's a ton of other sort of supporting applications that are coming online as well. So the first one is the Essex Wallet, which I think has a really, really cool UI. Really excited to sort of show that to more people. We'll get some sort of, if you're sort of very active in the community, we'll get you sort of beta user access. Sort of try these things out, give us feedback. We'll likely roll that out in the next couple of weeks as we get ready for the launch. And this wallet is, I think, the team did a great job in terms of the design. Next slide. The next is the Block Explorer. You don't have to spend too much time on it. Next slide. And then finally, the sort of hinted at it, there's a decentralized exchange being built, which I think is going to be really cool. We're excited to sort of tell the rest of the show the rest of the community what's been going on there. Next slide. So yeah, before there wasn't as many questions this time, which is kind of a nice relief for me. Last time we had, I think, like 40 or 50 questions, but so I'll get to these. I think real quick, some other sort of housekeeping. We have this community proposal that is currently still think it's being voted on for one more day. It looks last time I checked it, it looks like it's more than likely going to pass. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's actually got 12.6 million SX voting in favor of it across 25 voters, with 0 against it. So looks like it's pretty much locked into place. Reach out to us if you're interested. It's essentially a community management team. So just kind of engaging actively in the Discord, and you get paid SX, staked SX per month. We're actually going to have a couple of other teams like this going to be proposed to the Treasury over the next couple of weeks. So if you're interested in getting involved in the community to kind of help grow the community and get paid in staked SX in the process, keep your eyes open, because there's going to be likely at least 1 to 2 other types of teams like this that are great opportunities for people that want to sort of help out on either a part-time or even a full-time basis. So keep your eyes out open for that if you want to get involved, and also keep your eyes open if you're a staked SX holder, because there's going to be a ton of things to vote on over the next sort of 4 to 6 weeks. Our goal over the last month is to get all the pieces in place to allow us to hit our ambitious goals for 2022, both on the sort of SX network side in terms of other applications and TVL, but then also on the SportX side in terms of doing hundreds of millions of dollars in volume, like we know we can, and sort of lining up all of the partners and the sort of team members that can help us get there. So super excited about that. Keep your eyes open if you're looking to. I know there's a bunch of people that are sort of interested in helping out, and I think it's going to be a great sort of opportunity to get involved. So with that, I will quickly we actually only have 1 set of community questions, which is nice. I mean, I always like questions as well, but it's not the sort of wall of questions I had last time. So we'll keep this community call relatively short, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'll also check out the YouTube channel if anyone is asking questions there, just if you didn't have a chance to sort of ask in the Discord. So I'll sort of keep my eyes open there. But so far, first question is, when can we withdraw deposit L2 Matic to SX Network? So the main bridge of SX Network is going to be into Polygon, or I guess I should say Matic, the Matic sidechain. So you can't actually deposit until SX Network is live. So that question is sort of really just asking when SX Network is going to be live. And we don't want to give a hard timeline just because there's been some delays in the past, but we feel pretty good about, I would say, pretty good for the sort of first quarter of Q1 of 2022. But again, there's a little bit of it is out of our control. There's stuff with the Polygon SDK team that has to work. They have to work through some stuff. There's also you have to get these things audited, which takes a lot of time too. But we've made a ton of progress, and the lead developer on our side, this guy named Dan, has been sort of has been a hero over the last couple of weeks and really getting things going. So it's definitely put us in a really good position to sort of get SX Network out. Second question is, where does SportX get its data from? Chainlink, Standard Sports APIs, some other source? Thanks in advance. Yeah, so we actually, Standard Sports APIs is the question. We're looking into an integration with Chainlink. It's still sort of in the very preliminary phase. I think there's a pretty cool sort of opportunity to build a decentralized sports betting oracle. And we're sort of uniquely positioned to create that, given that we, at this point, host by far the most amount of prediction markets per day, and obviously with the main focus being sports. So I think that's a pretty super exciting sort of potential integration that we could build. there's just so many other things that are kind of going on in the SportX and SX network world that it hasn't been a focus as of yet. But it is something that we thought about, and I think it would be pretty cool to sort of marry our experience in sports data, blockchain-based sports data and market settlement with sort of the larger network that is Chainlink. And so I think that's a pretty sort of cool opportunity. Do we have any KPIs based on bet credits so far? How many times has the deal been redeemed? What percentage is from new wallets? So I don't actually have those stats on me right away. I'll actually post, so I think this question came from Dansky. I'll post a summary of the bet credits data though in the Discord in the next couple of days. Because I think it's sort of been what I would say soft launched. We sort of put out the announcement and then we put a big banner on SportX, but we haven't actually done any outside marketing for it yet. And so it hasn't done huge amounts of volume yet. But I think there's now that we've sort of worked out the kinks in it and sort of vended in everyone's feedback in terms of like what things were broken, I think we're in a really good spot to really sort of drive users to it and design sort of marketing campaigns around it. So anyways, I'll sort of post more of the stats around that in the next couple of days. And we've just been financing this internally, but I think there's an opportunity to really scale it up over the next couple of months. As the next SX network will be built on the Polygon SDK, will there be bridge support for SX network to other EVM networks, Avalanche, Phantom, or will it only support bridging directly to Polygon? Yeah, so this is something that's a huge opportunity for SX network. Initially, it will only be bridged into Polygon, but that isn't sort of that's kind of just in the short term. Long term, there's a big opportunity to bridge into all these other EVM chains. And so the answer to this is yes, eventually. Not even really eventually, just not in the first kind of couple of months. And one project I would love to bridge into as well would be something like Cosmos, which would be really sort of, I think that would be super helpful for us. We'll also obviously build bridges into things like Ethereum, mainnet, for people that like spending hundreds of dollars on gas, which I count myself as one of those people. And then of course other EVM chains like Avalanche and Phantom eventually. Any more info on the Exodus deal would be great. Any way to tell how many of their users have made bets? Do their customers get rewards? Can they? There's about 3 or 4 questions in here. Can they be encouraged redirected from Exodus to XX for a better experience? Would be good to use some community funds to do promos to help onboard them. Yeah, so there's a couple questions here. The same with the Exodus. I have to talk to their team first before I sort of start releasing stats on it. But I would kind of just say one thing. The Exodus announcement was actually more of a soft launch, if you can believe it or not, because obviously it got like a good amount of attention. But if you actually go to the Exodus app, SportX is sort of slightly hidden on their application. You have to go to settings and add SportX as an application first. And that was actually done on purpose. They're going to be doing a sort of more broad-based push now that sort of things have been tested and things are like the product works. So they're going to be doing a bigger push on the Exodus side over the next couple of weeks, which I'm super excited about. Their customers do get rewards. So SX, staked SX, not bet credits. They have to go through SportX, at least for now. Which is great though, because again, the more we can get Exodus users like involved in the sort of SX ecosystem through mining, the better. Just kind of build a better relationship with their community, especially as we sort of transition to SX network in the next phase. And then can they be encouraged redirected from Exodus to SX? We're not trying to do that ourselves. I mean, obviously, the Exodus app is a bit more limited than SportX. So if you're sort of a hardcore sports bettor, I could see those users sort of checking out SportX to kind of get the more full experience. But Exodus is sort of, if you guys kind of go and check out Exodus, it's built for sort of a more mainstream sports bettor. I think at the moment it only has Moneyline. And the idea is to continue building it out, but Exodus puts a really big focus on sort of simplicity and design. So their app is actually quite easy to use and very simple, which is actually a good thing. So it sort of targets a different slice of user, which I think is great, because if you're sort of a hardcore, more sophisticated sports trader, you can kind of get the full experience of SportX with the tournaments, the troll box, everything. And then if you're sort of just a more of a novice or just sort of more casual interest in sports betting, and you're already an Exodus customer, then Exodus is awesome because it's like a far simpler product. And so, yeah, I think it's, again, this sort of shows the power of building out that open source backend is huge, because it allows other front ends to sort of build on top of this sort of base technology. And that's why I'm also even more excited about Essex Network, because it's like that, but on an even bigger scale. So finally, yeah, last question is when Essex Chain. So I think I sort of answered that. We're working really hard, and it's definitely like our number one priority, as well as obviously building out SportX as well. The core team is also hiring. So if you yourself are a developer or know someone who is a developer, definitely reach out. We're very actively hiring at the moment to sort of increase our capacity. And yeah, I mean, I think it's we have a ton of announcements coming out over the next month, so I'm super excited for next month's call. And let me just quickly, I'll turn it back to Mohammed, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go quickly check YouTube for comments.
Yeah, as always, thanks for your time, Andrew. The community, you can hear me, right, as well?
Yeah.
The community, we just appreciate all of your efforts. Jake, Julian,
As always,
the entire team. So yeah, I'm just making sure the deck is still up on the screen. But yeah, what a month it was, record breaking. Let's continue to evolve, and we just can't wait to hear what's next.
Yeah, totally. I think I'm going through some of these comments on YouTube. Pretty funny. When marketing, those marketing stuff's coming out all the time. So don't worry too much about that. Yeah, I think there's a ton of stuff coming out. And yeah, excited for all the stuff that's coming out. And thanks everyone for joining for another monthly community call. I guess next time we see you, it will be 2022. So have a great holidays and new year.